filming practice again. The camera on, I've got to think about what I'm doing with the camera and think about what I'm doing with throwing. Different training for me this year. Last year I pretty much jumped through hoops, almost, figure of speech, trying to get as accurate as I could be. This year I'm started a few months ago and I'm really working on the center of that block. I'm working on zone throwing. I've done videos on that. But I want to be able to see the zone, but I also want to be able to focus in on that zone, but also narrow in on the bullseye, this very center of that circumference of that circle, or the style targets we use now, KTHOF. They're not round, but they're octagon or hexagon. Anyway, I look at my targets here, and I see like a scope on a rifle, and the black is the outer ring, and the white is the inner ring to help you get lined up on the center of the target. And of course, the pieces of paper are the what I want to hit. So I'm trying to encompass all that at the same time, and I'm enjoying learning how to do that. Okay. Are any of you out there shooters? Pistols, rifles, shotguns, whatever. You can have not so expensive a firearm and still learn how to shoot it effectively. And the best way to shoot it effectively is trigger control. Learning how to pull that trigger and not jerk it. Just smooth. Smooth. I'll relate that to knife throwing. Good firearm that you like. Practice using that firearm, hitting with that firearm, and then, but to me, the most important part is getting that trigger right. With knife throwing, it's the same thing. A good gun, good knife, good practice, good training. And you can train and practice thousands of shots with your rifle. That rifle's not going to change, but if you get up there and you change, then you're not going to be able to hit what you're shooting at. You get out and you take your good knife, quality knife, and you get good practice. The only thing different, if you're missing, is you. And that's called trigger control. Just get out and get zeroed in and pull that trigger. Put everything else aside. Put, am I going to hit it or am I not going to hit it? Is anybody watching? Am I going to embarrass myself? Forget it. If you're worried about all that, your anxiety's kicked in, you're nervous, you don't like throwing in front of people, you're not going to hit. So what I'm basically saying, good knife, good practice, and trigger control. Get up there and let go of it. Snap it. Fire it. fire. That's a good word. That's the word I'm looking for. Just like shooting a gun. You got to fire it to make it work. With a knife, you got to do the same thing. When you're throwing it, you got to fire it. You got to have confidence in your practice. You have to have confidence in your weapon. You have to have good trigger control, and just believe that. Throw enough times that you know where that trigger is, and you just fire it. Are you going to be perfect? No, you're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But it will help you in your practice training, and it'll help you in your competition. Put it all aside, fire that weapon. That's it. Thank you for your time.